Today on Dad Hut, we're taking a look at one of the most popular and affordable gaming TVs out there on the market, the Hisense U7G. Is it worth it? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? We are back and we are in a new set. As you can see here, we're still a work in progress, but I am sorry I haven't put out a video in a while, and that is because I moved and we are into a new, bigger house. I actually have my own office now where I can film these, and this is where we are. This is going to be the new look for all the Dad Hut videos. There'll probably be some changes going around in the background and things like that, but for now, this is what we're going to do. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there and just waiting, as I didn't pump out a video for probably about the last month and a half. But today, we are taking a look at a TV that I got specifically for gaming, and I put it in this office here to play with my PlayStation 5, and that is the Hisense U7G. And this TV is very popular because it's on the affordable side. When you look at gaming TVs that can do 120 frames per second, it is, one of the most affordable ones out there, and it has really good reviews on top of it. So today we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to tell you all the things I like, and then there's even some things that I don't like about it. So let's get started. So first, let's talk about the cost. I paid $649 at Best Buy, at my local Best Buy, and this is the 55-inch model. They do come in bigger sizes. I believe there's a 65 and then even up to 70 some inches as well. And obviously, depending on the size you need, that price is going to fluctuate a little bit. But this is the smallest size they make at 55 inches for this particular model. And the reason why I went with a TV like this is because I have a PS5 now. I would love to get one of the new Xboxes if I can ever find one, but these systems can now play games at 120 frames per second. But you need a TV that has that HDMI 2.1 and that can support that 120 frames per second. So when you take a look out there and what's available, you're going to see a lot of really, really high prices. Definitely up over $1,000 for sure on most of the TVs that are going to be able to run 120 frames per second. So that's why this one appealed to me. Plus, it has really good reviews online. So today I'm going to do my best to tell you whether or not this TV is for you and whether you should shell out $650 for a brand new TV, especially if you don't need a new TV. I did need a new TV when I got this because it was an extra room, so there wasn't like a TV that I already had or that I replaced. I will say that going into it, if you have a really nice TV right now, there's not a whole lot of games out there that run 120 frames per second right now. This is something that'll probably be more in the future. But I would say if you got a really nice TV, you probably don't want to go replacing it unless you're a really, really hardcore gamer, especially playing the online multiplayer game, something like, Call of Duty or something like that. And if you absolutely have to have it, then, sure, if you can afford it. But if not, I would say wait, because these prices are going to come down as this technology becomes, more readily available, and the price is just going to drop. 5 years from now, you probably won't need to pay that. So the first question is, do you absolutely need to replace your TV? If the answer is no, then maybe you pass on any TV that runs 120 frames per second right now, because there's just not a whole lot out there that is actually playable at 120 frames per second. But if you're looking to upgrade and you need a new TV, or you're trying to replace an old one, or you got a new room that you need to put a new TV in, and you're going to use it for gaming, then yes, this TV is going to be for you. And let's just talk about why. One, its price, obviously $650. It's got two HDMI ports that can do 2.1 HDMI, which is 120 frames per second. It's got a total of 4 HDMI imports, so you can plug all your stuff in there you need to. So if you have an Xbox and a PlayStation, you can actually plug both of them in at the same time to an HDMI port that supports 120 frames per second. A lot of the TVs that are double the cost of this Hisense don't even have 2 ports. They only have 1, so you're going to constantly have to switch that in and out if you've got multiple things that can run 120 frames per second. Something to think about. The picture quality on this TV is superb. It's really, really crisp, really, really clean. I will say that you definitely want it to be as dark as possible. There is some glare that I will say the screen kind of gives off, especially if you have light coming in from, directly in front of the TV. But I think that's kind of for most TVs nowadays. You kind of want to keep it away from a window or a direct glare. But especially at night, this thing looks, the colors, everything pops really, really good. It's very, very crisp. And not just for gaming, but for TV as well. It is a super, super nice picture for movies, for Blu-rays, or for just casual TV watching. Very, very crisp, very, very clean picture. So let's jump into it. Let's see some footage here. I'm just gonna literally take this right off of the TV. I'm just going to record the TV screen here. Is the best that I can do for you. You can see here, this is Elden Ring, which if you haven't played Elden Ring, you need to. It's one of the best games ever made. And it's, a February release, AAA title. So one of the newest games for the PS5. It looks absolutely amazing and stunning. Very, very high quality. This TV really, really pops that picture, and it certainly is it is a joy to play this game on that TV. Another new game, another AAA title from Sony, Horizon Forbidden West, also just looks absolutely amazing. Probably graphically one of the best looking games to date that's ever been made. Obviously this will change as games evolve, but right now it is a powerhouse. It absolutely is beautiful. But something to think about, these games do not even run 120 frames per second, neither of these two. And these are brand new titles that were just released in the last month and a half, and they do not support 120 frames per second, only 60 frames per second. So if you have a newer TV, you're probably already getting that. So again, something to think about. It certainly does make the picture look really good, but it does not have 120 frames per second on a lot of those games because they just don't support it. So let's jump into a game that does, Call of Duty Vanguard, and yeah, you can tell the difference for sure between 120 frames and 60 frames per second. It's definitely smoother, but is it some drastic jump that I think is just like a game changer? I don't know about that. I don't know if it's just this huge gap between 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second when playing, multiplayer online. Then again, I'm not some top tier player. I literally don't play Call of Duty very often at all, just for fun with buddies or whatever. But, did it make me play better? I don't think so. My kill count wasn't any better or anything like that. So, it's hard to say. Is it the top of the top? Yeah. Is it probably as best as you can get it? Yes. But is it, is it all of that? Is it, gonna change the way you look at video games? I don't think so. I don't think that is necessary, but it certainly does help. And I think it's small steps that just gradually build up over time to make games look better. And this is just one of them. So let's talk about the biggest thing I do not like about it. And that is the 3 orange lights at the very bottom of the TV. And if you think I'm the only one that complains about this, go ahead and do a Google search for the Hisense U7G 3 orange lights, and it is everywhere. So these 3 orange lights only come on if you don't have the microphone for the TV on, because it can do a Google Assistant with you and you can talk to your TV and yada, yada, yada. But it's always listening, and I don't want my TV listening to me at all times, so I turn it off. But when you turn it off, these 3 orange lights come on, and they are not small lights. They are annoying and distracting as all hell. So I feel like they did it to kind of make you have the Google Assistant on and they want to listen. I don't know, but it's terrible design, terrible flaw with it. The good news is it's very easy remedied by just a small piece of electric tape, which I did, and you can't even notice. But the fact that I even have to do that is a shame. So, bad move by them to make, just this really distracting 3 lights come on if you don't want a feature on. It's just, I didn't like that at all. But again, not a huge deal because you can cover it up. The other thing about the listening is this TV, when you hit the power button, it just goes into what is called standby mode and doesn't necessarily power off. And if you have the microphone on, then you can actually talk to your TV when it's not even on. It's like listening even when it's not on. So again, not something I want. Maybe there are people out there that do want that, but not for me. So to actually turn the TV completely off, you have to hold down the power button and then do a hard power off, and then it will shut off. But then when you turn it back on, it actually takes longer to turn on than just, immediately turning on. So it's kind of weird in that way. It has something to do with the microphone, and again, I don't like any part of that. I do put it in standby mode just so the TV can turn on right away when I hit that power button, but I don't have my microphone on, so it's not listening to me. Just something to kind of think about before you purchase the TV. As far as the menus go, it is the first one I've had that's a Google TV. I usually get Samsung just because I'm used to the menu, not because I like it any better than anything else, just because it's the only one I usually have. So I'm used to the menus. I like the menus on this TV. It's super easy to move around. It's not any better or any worse in my opinion than, say, a Samsung TV. It's just different. So just something to get used to, but it's very responsive. It moves around the menu very, very easily. And it's pretty easy to navigate the entire system. If you've used any, smart TV anytime recently, then you're going to have no problem using this TV as far as its menus go. But I did want to make that known that there is this little slight problem I have with these 3 orange lights that are just bright, staring you in the face if you don't have the microphone on. So besides that though, I really can't ding it for anything. It's got a lot of features that TVs twice its price have, and it's coming in at a very affordable $650 for what it is. Search 120 frames per second TV, and $650 is about the best you're gonna get, and it's a quality TV. It's not some piece of junk, from like that Walmart made or something like that. It is quality build, and it does have a quality picture. So I hope that video helped you out. I will say it again: if you need a new TV, if you're in a market for a new TV and you have a PS5 or you have one of the new Xboxes and you want that 120 frames per second, I'd say go ahead. If you already have a TV that is really good and has HDR and can do 60 frames per second, I would say pump the brakes, hold off. These prices will come down. And again, there's really not a whole lot out there to play right now at 120 frames per second. And even if you can even get a PlayStation or an Xbox right now, we're a year and a half after launch and you still can't walk into a store and get one. So pump the brakes if you don't need a TV. If you're in the market for one and you've got one of these systems, I say go for it. If this video helped you out at all, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.